This is an Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, and it's not only a totally new design this year, we've got other new key features like AI-powered Deep Track 4.0, which gives you native tracking with over 200 applications with the iPhone. We've got 360-degree infinite pan tracking, and we've got a new free tilt mode, and we're going to cover everything about this gimbal in this video today. We are going to compare it to the OM6 from DJI, which is its nearest competitor, but it's more of a product showcase because this video is sponsored by Insta360, so it's not a direct comparison. But without further ado, let's jump into the new tracking features they have introduced this year on the new Flow 2 Pro. So just like last year, you've got Apple Dock Kit on the new Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, and that allows you to connect via NFC with one tap, just like Apple Pay, to your gimbal. And that gives you access to utilise the tracking option in over 200 different applications with the iPhone. If you've got an Android, you can still use the fantastic Insta360 app to utilise all of the tracking options. And if you want to make the most of the zoom tracking and things like multi-person tracking, you have to use the application anyway. So it's very powerful, but that NFC really is a plus when it comes to these two gimbals being compared together.
Okay, right, we are tracking on both of these gimbals. I've got the iPhone 16 that side, the iPhone 13 this side, just because those are two phones I've got. We're using the Flow Pro and the OM6. Now, there are some major advantages with the new Insta360 Flow Pro when it comes to the tracking options you've got with both of these gimbals. The first one is obviously the Insta360 Flow Pro 2 has NFC, which allows you to connect via Apple Dock with the iPhone. So with the iPhone, you can use any application and take advantage of that tracking because it works with things like the native camera app, the FaceTime app, Instagram, TikTok, basically over 200 different applications. You've got that option to have the tracking because it works via NFC connected to the gimbal. With the OM6, you can only use the DJI Mimo app to activate and utilize the tracking options. So we can see left and right, I'm using the native camera app on the iPhone 16 Pro here, and I'm using the DJI Mimo app here with gesture control. You know, it is pretty good. It's got Active Track 6.0 on there, so it's quality tracking that you've got, but you have to use the Mimo app, which is, you know, obviously got its limitations. So let's test it out. They are actually side by side like that. You can probably just see in the shot of the OM6 the gimbal, so I've got them quite close actually, but they're tracking me anyway, so both are working well. The tracking's good. The other advantage that the Flow Pro 2 has over the OM6 is the fact that it can rotate 360 degrees. With the OM6 you've got a limitation to the rotation, so if I can walk around like so, the Flow Pro will keep on tracking me, and the OM6 now has stopped, so that's the limitation you've got. With the Flow Pro 2, it will keep on rotating all the way around for as many times as I want it to rotate around and keep on tracking me. So we can just keep on walking around and walking around, and it'll just keep tracking onto me. The rear identification tracking on the OM6 is good, don't get me wrong, because now I'm back in frame, it will pick me back up. And with that limited spin, it will keep on tracking me now, but it has got that limitation to the rotation.
So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to test out the zoom tracking over here to see how it works with the iPhone. We're going to try and track these two swans that are over on this lake. So let's test that out, and we'll talk about the other fantastic tracking options that this gimbal has got. So the good thing about this little dial here is that you can twist it to zoom in. So we're going to twist it now to zoom into these two swans over there. And we're going to zoom all the way in, and then once we get a little bit closer, we're at 15 times now. I'm just going to draw a little box around the swan there, and you can see zoom tracking 15 times, that is, and this gimbal is tracking onto that over there with the super zoom, so up to 15 times tracking with this, and it's very, very good. And then we can just zoom back out if we want to, using the dial just a little bit, moving left and right, and you can see that it's tracking it absolutely perfectly. So that is very, very good indeed. And you've got something else that I've just seen in the menu called horse tracking. So if you're tracking horses in the field over there, you can actually do that, and it recognises a horse as well. But it's doing a really, really good job of locking on this swan. So that's pretty impressive, I've got to say.
With the new Flow Pro 2 as well, you've got something called free tilt mode, and this allows you to get a bigger range of motion when it comes to using these gimbals. In the past with these kind of gimbals, as with the OM6, your sort of tilt rotation and your movement options are a little bit limited with what you've got. You have got a selfie stick on the OM6 as well, but with this one we extend it out a little bit. We can tilt it towards ourselves like so, and then rotate it 90 degrees like so, and then it goes into free tilt mode. It's very easy. This allows us to get different ranges of motion, like crane shots, down, low and up like so, and then the tilt mode as well. We can tilt up and down. The free tilt mode, very easy to use, very advanced and a lot easier. We can just pretty much throw this phone anyway now, and it really does help with the movement and the tilt and the axis and getting some different shots with it. So very easy to get back out of free tilt mode, put it like so, and we're down. So just double tap on the trigger to get it back into normal mode. We have got a underslung mode as well, like that, so we can hold it upside down if you want to get some really low shots. It auto rotates the camera and the phone as well. Yeah, it's really advanced this year. It's a big improvement over last year's model.
One little thing to think about when you're using these gimbals every day is sort of the quickness of storage, and the only thing about the OM6 is you can't sort of fold it down with the phone on there. You have to take the phone off, like so. So if you want to fold this gimbal down, you have to take the phone off the thing, and then it folds down like so, and then if you've got the tripod on there, you have to unscrew that to sort of put it away and make it pocketable. With the Flow Pro 2, it's just a little bit more seamless to store away. You can just sort of fold it down like so. It goes into that little notch, and then you take your phone off like that, so you've got this sort of pocketable design that you can just slip away in your pocket. It just works a little bit better. The design of it is a little bit more well thought out, and obviously it's another generation on from the OM6, because I fully expect DJI to release an OM7 in recent months to come, so we'll see what that brings, and we'll do another comparison when that actually does come out. But it's just a very nice, compact and easy to use device. And then of course you can just put it on there when you're ready to use a gimbal, open it up, and it's just simple like that. You're ready to rock and film whatever you want to film. It's just one step deployment. Very easy to use indeed. That little ring light incidentally on there just makes you realise that you've got it connected by NFC and the tracking's activated. You can just one tap the trigger and it turns off, and then if you want to start tracking something again, you just press the trigger once and it lights up to let you know the tracking is activated. It's very good, I must admit. So we've got something called Pro Grid framing, which allows you to position yourself in the frame now with the tracking. So we've pressed tracking on me here. We can see myself tracking. One tap track is so good. Once you've connected the phone to the gimbal, by the way, via NFC with the Apple Dock kit, it just connects automatically every time. It's just so easy. Bottom left hand side, we've got this little thing called Pro Grid. We're going to press that, and then you can select which side of the grid. There's 9 sort of magical golden points, I call them, and you can select which part of that tracking grid you want to be in. So now when I stand up, it will keep me, see, in that left hand side. So you can see that it's keeping me on that left hand side of the frame, the right hand side as far as I'm concerned. But if we move around like so, it will keep me in that right hand side of the frame. We can select the bottom of the frame, I suppose, like that, and then it will keep me sort of dead center but a little bit lower. If I press at the top, which would be good for vlogging, it keeps it down a little bit, so I'm more up in the top of the frame, which is really nice. That's another new feature they've introduced in the Insta360 app this year, so yeah, very impressed with that. So build quality this year, they've just really redesigned this whole thing. They've thought about it a lot more. It's a well thought out design this year with the Flow 2 Pro. You've got the new tripod, which is built in, so you can put it in there like so. Easy to get out. You just have to use your nails to like get it down like so if you want to use a tripod. It's a lot more robust and sturdy this year. It was a little bit bouncy last year on the previous model, but this year it's solid. It's a very good quality, more robust tripod on there. With the OM6, you haven't got a built-in tripod. It's something that does come with the actual gimbal. You can just screw it on there. It's got a 1/4 inch on the bottom, but it's just something to note. It hasn't got a built-in tripod. We've got reverse charging this year as well, so it comes with a cable in the box where you can charge your phone whilst you're using using this device. Something you haven't got, again, on the OM6 is no reverse charging. And it's got a mirror on there for a selfie mirror. So if you're using the main cameras on your phone for vlogging, for instance, which again is something you can't do with the OM6. You can't triple tap the trigger to turn the cameras around. You have got a mirror on here, so you can actually frame yourself up and see that you're in frame. It's a nice little feature, a nice little thing that they've just put on there to help you with vlogging in particular. Shooting a pano photo, this is very good feature that you can do different creative effects with the gimbal. Lots of options like this within the application, and it does it for you, stitches it all together in one massive 3x3 panoramic photo. It comes in very good and you get some really cool looking effects. Within the application there's a new teleprompter mode as well, so if you're reading a script or something with your phone, so this is a really professional device theoretically, you can add your own script on there and the words will go down in teleprompter mode so you can see what you want to talk about and you won't see it in the picture. So if you've ever used a teleprompter, it's an interesting experience. It takes a bit of practice because it's sort of kind of it's a very weird experience using a teleprompter, I must admit. So practice with it, but the fact that it's got a teleprompter mode within the Insta360 app is brilliant. No one else has thought about that yet, so you've got that option as well. And we've also got a new light accessory, which I'm presuming will come with like a kit, but you can buy it separately. This plugs directly into the gimbal for use with this, so it's very good quality. You can change the Kelvin, the color and everything, so if you want to use this, it's powered by the gimbal, there's no battery built in, and it's got a nice connection, so it's USB-C connection and it locks in there with these two prongs, which is nice. So there's a selfie light, and again, something you don't get on the OM6. So as far as build quality goes and the way they've thought it out, it's a good improvement over last year's model, definitely.
So there's a couple of accessories you might want to think about buying just for the iPhone in particular. One is the MagSafe mount, and this is a really good accessory because it just adds another layer of like quickness and convenience to using the Flow 2 Pro. By the way, the first 30 people that use my link in the description down below will get one of these free with their purchase, so make sure you're fast and purchase through the link down below. It is what it says on the tin. It is a MagSafe mount. It goes onto the phone like so. Incidentally, it actually has got a stand on it. It's got one of these rings that you can pop down like so to stand up if you want to. So it's not just a MagSafe mount. It's really good to leave on your phone as like one of those ring holders. So that's another feature of that. And then it pops on to the Flow, you turn it on and you're on there already. So it's magnetized on there rather than having to use the clamp. So yeah, it's a good accessory, especially with the iPhone. Works very, very well. So yeah, fully recommend that one. Grab that in the description down below. There's another really killer feature of this new Flow 2 Pro, and that is the remote control. So remote control is another feature. If you press this little button on the top right hand side of the app and then you use another phone to scan the QR code with the QR code scanner on the phone, we go like that. This then opens up a controller. You can control the gimbal with this phone as a remote control. I can move the gimbal around like that. That is quite bonkers that I can do that using another device, and then we can stop recording. We can go to different shooting modes, slow motion, widescreen, and we can flip the camera as well straight from here. You can see the camera flipping around. That's quite bonkers. So yeah, that is another great upgrade to the Insta360 app. You've got not only the teleprompter mode, which is brand new, you've got the remote control as well, so you can control the gimbal from another device. Crazy.
Now, one thing you want to think about if you're shooting more pro quality video, especially with the iPhone, is the fact that this has NFC and you can connect to it and use the native camera apps. It's more of a professional device because you can utilize that ProRes RAW inside the Apple camera app, for instance, to get really high quality video with that obviously really good 3-axis stabilization. And inside the Insta360 app, you've actually got Dolby Vision as well, which gives you enhanced video quality over the basic video quality you'd get from any sort of camera. So you've got those pro things in there. I also think you could use something like the Final Cut Pro app, which allows you to multi-stream with potentially multiple of these devices connected via NFC, utilizing that tracking option you can get via NFC with this gimbal, and have multiple of these around and shoot like a multi-cam kind of situation video. It would be absolutely amazing. Some of the options you don't have on the OM6 because you can't connect via the native camera app. You have to use their application in here to get most out of the gimbal. Because you've got that NFC and that native camera app support, there's a lot more pro features and, you know, potentially more you can do with this. It's just something to think about if you're wanting to use these devices for more pro level productions. So that is the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, a massive improvement over last year's model, and yeah, something I do fully recommend if you're doing a lot of shooting, especially with your mobile phone. It's a big upgrade over the OM6 as well. Again, I fully expect DJI to release a new improvement of this gimbal in recent months, so if you're new to the channel, please do make sure you subscribe, press a bell, so you don't miss any future uploads. We'll be pitching the new version of the OM7 or whatever it is against this gimbal when it does come out. But at the moment, this is the ultimate AI tracking stabilizer you can buy for your phone on the market at the moment, in my opinion. On this channel, it's not my job to convince you what to buy. It's just sort of giving you the facts about both of these products, so I hope you appreciate it. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you've got any other questions or anything, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to purchase a Flow 2 Pro, there's a link in the description down below. But until next time, see you soon. Bye guys.